Good evening. It is March 22nd, 2022. It is 7 p.m. Welcome to the San Marino Unified School District Board of Education meeting. Here is your board president, Mrs. Namjack.
Thank you, Dr. Choi. The board went into closed session, and I would like to report out with respect to closed session. The Board of Education took unanimous action in closed session to approve the settlement agreement for student number last four digits 0103. The Board of Education took unanimous action in closed session to approve the settlement agreement for employee number with the last four numbers 5521. And then the Board of Education took unanimous action in closed session to approve a resignation and release agreement for employee number whose last four digits are 5538. All right, now I'd like to call the meeting to order and ask everyone. Yes, please.
Thank you, President Jack. Tonight, we have the honor of inviting Ms. Caroline Wang, Director or ASB Director of Events from Huntington Middle School, to lead the board in the flag salute.
Please stand. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated.
Thank you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Caroline Wang, and I hold the Director of Special Events position at Huntington Middle School and ASB. In short, I organize the special days and I plan the dances. It's been a great year at HMS, especially since everyone is gone back to in-person school, where I can see my friends and teachers again. I really enjoy sports at HMS, and I really love how Huntington Middle School offers sports to everybody through intramurals. Through this program, anyone can do sports with or without experience. This is especially great for people who want to try the sport but aren't too serious about it yet. And the program is truly special to Huntington Middle School as well. I especially love the environment at the school with inspiring and caring and passionate teachers. For example, some of them hold academic support after school, which is open to anyone. I really appreciate this since they're taking the time out of their day to help students who are passionate about learning and like to further understand the class material. Not to mention the students as well. At HMS, the students are generous and thoughtful and always try their best to help each other out by helping each other with classwork or simply picking up someone's dropped textbook. At Huntington Middle School is a great place with a great environment and is very safe to learn in. Nobody will judge you for liking a certain subject or for having an unusual passion either. Altogether, HMS is an outstanding school and has a great spot in my heart. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to present you with the certificate before you leave. Here you are. So we're going to take a picture of you right up here.
Okay.
Yeah. Does you guys want to come up here too? Yeah. You've been doing these.
One, two.
Thank you, Caroline.
Thank you. All right, thank you. Now we come to 5B, approval of the agenda. Could someone make a motion to approve the agenda?
So move.
Mrs. Ryan, a second? Ms. Chan, roll call vote. Mr. Kalaki?
Aye.
Mr. Chang?
Aye.
Ms. Chan?
Hi.
Mrs. Ryan?
Aye.
Namjack? Student board member?
Hi.
All right, motion approved. Now we go to 5C, approval of minutes. Would someone make a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll move to approve the minutes. There were a couple of corrections made to the one originally given in our board packet. So with those corrections, which the board was given before, I move to approve the minutes. Oh, sorry, for the, for 3.
So
Yeah.
March 1.
March 1st with the edits made, motion to approve the special board meeting on March 1st.
All right, would someone make a second?
Second.
Mr. Chang, roll call vote, Mr. Kalaki,
Aye.
Mr. Chang,
Aye.
Ms. Khan,
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan,
Aye.
Jack, I, student board member.
Aye.
All right, with respect to March 8th,
And I move to approve the minutes on March 8th with the edits given to the board members.
all right, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Roll call vote, Mrs. Ryan,
Aye.
Mr. Kalaki,
Aye.
Mr. Chang,
Aye.
Ms. Shan,
Aye.
Jack, I, student board member.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. All right, now we come to public comments. The board has adopted board policy 9323B to ensure the public's right to be heard in any matters pertaining to the district. Persons who wish to provide public comment will have 3 options. 1, submit through an online form. 2, request to speak during the meeting via Zoom. 3, request to speak during the meeting in person via the public comment card. With respect to submitting an online form, the public may do so for the open or closed session on March 21 from 11 a.m. through 3:30 p.m. Comments received during this time will not be read during the meeting, but will be provided to the board. Please submit comments at https://bit.ly/BOE032122. It is my understanding that we received no online forms. Is that correct? Thank you. Request to speak during the meeting via Zoom. During public comment, the meeting will pause for 1 minute, take requests to speak. The raise hand function is used to take requests during the public comment period. For online attendees, press the raise hand icon to add yourself to the queue. For phone attendees, dial *9. Speaking order will be determined based on the order of requests received. Individual speakers will be unmuted and called to speak. Dr. Choi?
Thank you, President Nam. Jack, we were pausing for 1 minute to take requests to speak regarding matters that are not on the agenda. If you'd like to make a request to speak, please press the raise hand icon, dial *9, or submit a public comment card. Thirty seconds remain. If you'd like to make a request to speak regarding matters that are not on the agenda, please press the raise hand icon, dial *9, or submit a public comment card. Okay, we have no requests.
All right, thank you. Request to speak during the meeting in person via the public comment card. Please complete the public comment card and submit the completed card to the designated drop box with the assistant to the superintendent no later than when the agenda section, for example, items not on the agenda, maybe perhaps consent information or action is called by the board president. Opportunities for public comments are offered prior to the closed session at the start of the regular open session for items not on the agenda and prior to the consent information action items for matters on the agenda. The board reserves a right to add a public comment period prior to any individual item on the agenda. 5 minutes may be allotted to each speaker and a maximum of 20 minutes to each subject matter. However, in the event there are more than 4 speakers on the same subject matter, the board president retains the discretion to adjust and limit the time allocated to each speaker to ensure that all wishing to speak will be heard within the 20-minute allotment. 7A, communications from the audience regarding the matters not on the agenda are to be made at this time.
So we did the not on the agenda, no requests for not on the agenda.
All right. Communications from the audience regarding matters on the consent agenda are to be made at this time.
Thank you. We're pausing for a minute again to take requests to speak regarding matters in the consent section. If you'd like to make a request, please press the raise hand icon, dial *9, or submit a public comment card. We have 30 seconds remaining. If you'd like to make a request to speak regarding matters in the consent section, please press the raise hand icon, dial *9, or submit a public comment card. Okay, we have no requests.
All right, thank you. Do we have any online cards? Nothing? All right, thank you. Now we go to the consent section. Would someone like to make a motion to approve the matters on the consent section?
I would like to make a motion to approve AA to AK.
Thank you, Mr. Chang. A second?
A second.
Mr. Kalaki, roll call vote, Mrs. Ryan,
Aye.
Mr. Kalaki,
Aye.
Mr. Chang,
Aye.
Mrs. Chan,
Aye.
Nam Jack, aye. Student board member vote? Thank you. All right, now we come to the communication section. Item number 9, communications from the board. Would like to start with Mr. Kalaki.
Thank you. So I had the opportunity twice to attend the HMS Music Man Junior musical this last week, and it was very well done. It was a great production. The kids had a lot of fun. They clearly put a lot of time and work in and showed a lot of talent. And so they should be congratulated on that. I also had the opportunity to judge the national qualifiers debate tournament where 5 San Marino High School students qualified to compete in the national championships in Louisville, Kentucky. And I wanted to give a big congratulations to those 5 debaters, as well as the 3 speech qualifiers that qualified last week as well. So we've got a good number of students from the high school that will be planning on going to Louisville, Kentucky in June to compete for the national championship. Also, I did speak with multiple members of our community regarding their concerns over the RIF notices given for special education aides. And specifically, they expressed concerns about our ability to meet every IEP with that happening. I also communicated with multiple San Marino High School families regarding the availability of double science classes for the sophomores, as well as the availability of AP biology for sophomores. Specifically, their concerns were, it's currently being offered, it's been offered many years in the past, and why is it not offered for upcoming sophomores? I also spoke with multiple members of the AAC who had previously been on the AAC regarding the availability of them to continue on as part of the AAC. And they had questions for me about why the board wasn't utilizing the AAC for as a valuable and dedicated resource. So that's possibly something the board may want to look toward in the future. And then I did have the opportunity to attend the HMS parent party, had some great costumes. And although there were a lot of people with a lot of different costumes and everybody had a lot of fun, I think I would have to give it to Ms. Hazlett, who was dressed up as Moira Rose from the Crows Have Eyes movie, which quite frankly, I didn't recognize her when I first saw her. So, but it was a lot of fun. Everybody had a lot of fun. So it's been a good 2 weeks.
Thank you. Mr. Chang?
March 10, as you know, is a kind of Arbor Day. So I was invited by Chinese Club San Marino director, stay at the Lacey Park, witness, the once a year, they donate a tree to the city of San Marino. I think I'm the only one there, witness for last 25 years. But I cannot remember which tree location. And March 12, I attend a Valentine party at the Amberdale Golf Club. It always a memory, as a Valentine parent, attend the PTA party. So it's a great party. And then March 13, I attend once a year Chinese Club San Marino Board of Director installation party. And then March 18, we have a school board special meeting. And then March 19, I was in a room, attend the PCC college and career education symposium. This is sponsored by PCC President Asian and Pacific Island Advisory Committee. March 19, as a San Marino Rotarian, so I also attend a special event they call Rise Against Hunger meal package at the San Marino High School cafeteria. So we are very lucky, a lot of San Marino High School students, they volunteer the Saturday morning. So we thought may finish it by 1:30, but quickly we can finish the morning. Yeah. So they have a I think probably is 100 pack. Yeah. So we are sent to South America. For some people, they are hungry on the food. And then the March 20, I also attend the San Marino High School basketball team banquet at the Mama's Brick Oven Pizza and Pasta at the South Pasadena. It's a great event. Actually, they did a good job. Especially Coach Pack, always mention about the integrity and the character. Yeah. So we are not just want to win, but we want have our team member, yeah, with the character. I admire him. Yeah, always remind. Yeah. So I think all the booster parents, they are very happy. Yeah, I think establish the confidence. Yeah. So look for the next year, next 2 years. Yeah. And then 2 years ago, we are pleased, our fellow board member Sherry Ryan host a workshop. This workshop is for the API, school board member in the California. So this is like a part 2 for workshop series. Yeah. Last month was hosted by North California school board member, and this time hosted by Southern California. So we are talking about after COVID-19, post-COVID-19 stage, what the school district as an API school board member, how we want to do the suggestion, end up can help for the new policy. Yeah, thank you, Sherry. Yeah, I think we we say a lot for our San Marino Unified School District. Yeah, for the successful effort. Huh? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chang. Mrs. Chan?
So I wanted to start off with just a couple of comments. In our consent agenda, I noticed that we have a significant number of donations from Carver and Valentine PTA and the high school boosters and ASB. So I just wanted to say thank you for those, because without those, we really cannot give the high quality programs that we want to give our kids. And I'm also pleased to see a return to outdoor education next fall at our middle school. I know that was really hard to forego those for a couple of years. So I'm excited to see the new camp. Principal Topalian was telling me about it at the HMS parent party, and he was very excited about this new facility he's discovered down in San Diego that apparently has been around for 75 years that we never knew about. So very excited for that for our 6th grade students. For myself, in addition to attending the HMS parent party, I also went to the Music Man musical and was just so impressed by the students and all the work they put into it, and the parents. They all spent the last 2 weeks on campus clothing the kids, feeding the kids, building sets for the kids, taking pictures of the kids, and it's all just such high professional quality, as we always come to expect in San Marino, for better or worse. And in addition to that, a couple of Carver activities was the Carver PTA meeting where they installed their new executive board. So exciting to see that moving forward. And I had the opportunity to do something really fun. I actually volunteered at a program that they started this year called a Carver Makerspace. And they basically have the kids come in at lunchtime and everybody's been donating just knickknacks, toilet paper rolls, tissue boxes, wire hangers, and all kinds of just knickknacks. And the kids just come at lunch and they just build whatever they want. And it's just silly. I mean, they're literally taking masking tape and like rolling it around things and just taping things together, I think. And then it's like, oh, this is my backpack. I can't really put anything in it, but good job, you know? So egg cartons are really popular. So if you have egg cartons, apparently egg cartons are really popular, and toilet paper rolls and paper towel rolls. So if you have those things, you can throw them in a bag and donate them to Carver. And those will be happily used by the students. So that was kind of fun to see them do that. I felt a little scared because they were kind of all come running at me, a little bit of a zombie horde. But it was really fun to see them just be creative. And then I also engaged in a couple of city club meetings with City Talk and City Club, where I got to see Dr. Linda Delatorre present to the state of our schools to our community. And I spoke with a lot of community members, both parents and non-parents in San Marino, about the current and future state of our schools in relation to our superintendent search, our staffing, our VAPA programs, and college admissions, which is around the corner. So our seniors, our students are amazing. And this college admission cycle is insane. And it is in no way a reflection of anything our students are not capable of. It is a reflection of the insanity of the college admission system, because our students are amazing. And every time I start thinking about it, I just want to like bonk every single college admissions officer on the head, because what they're putting our kids through is just so cruel in a lot of ways. Because I think when you look at, just for example, the students who were highlighted in the Rotary Awards, what they accomplish is amazing. And that's just a fraction of what our kids do. So many of our kids do that, and they do so many other things. And I know that our kids are going to land in really amazing places in life. And I know that they're going to end up in places that are just where they're meant to be. And I want to encourage our parents to be optimistic and to encourage their kids during this time, because it's a hard time to feel that way. But I want to just wish all of our kids good luck. It's rough. So, but I know that I expect really good things to come of our kids.
Thank you.
Oh, by the way, I forget one more. Yeah,
Sure.
because I tell them I must report this for them. Yeah. So today they have a show notice to me, text me, 1 p.m. Went to the San Marino School Foundation office, because the Chinese Club president present a 20,000 check to them. Yeah, unfortunately, I cannot be there. But I said I promise I will share this happy news to everyone.
That's amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chang. Mrs. Ryan?
Thank you, President Jack. I think my fellow board members have reported on everything. Just as a note, I think most of us on this board attended Music Man, and it was a wonderful production. And you could certainly see at the end of the evening the joy that the children had in performing, as well as the joy in the parents' faces when they see their kids on stage, and all of the hard work and effort that they put into the production. So congratulations. I was telling Dr. Delatorre as we were leaving that Amelia Bernstein, I met her when she was born. She is now the star of the show, and it's her bar mitzvah this weekend. So, you know, we've gone full circle. Nicely done. Congratulations to the Bernsteins. Want to talk a little bit about what C. Joseph Chang talked about on the PISMA presentation today. Just a celebration of the stories, the hope, the coming together as a community in terms of weathering this pandemic. Thank you so much for C. Joseph Chang for his leadership in this journey that we've had for 2 years. Dr. Stephen Choi, thank you for your presentation. Your stories enlightened us, but also challenged us to do better and to always look for how technology can enhance what we're doing. Our very own Dr. Raul presented, and he is not only our Keck medicine doctor, but he's a parent in our community, and he did a wonderful job talking about the front line and what it was like for him to serve not only as a physician, but then he had to contend with his own children coming on campus, and he had diverse needs, children with diverse needs that he needed to accommodate for. Thank you, Dr. Delatorre, for introducing us to Superintendent Anita Chu, who did a fabulous job. And then Mr. Chang, again, for your connection with Chinatown Services, with Lena Yen Locke. She was an inspiration, but also talked a lot about how we can address social emotional learning with our students. So congratulations on the panel, and thank you so much for all your support, President Jack, Linda Delatorre, for all that you guys do to support us. And with that, here you go.
All right, thank you so much. I just want to say, when we're talking about all of the board members here, I think it really highlights what this district is all about in terms of, you know, the high level of achievement for our academics, arts, and athletics, whether it's our basketball program, whether it's our speech and debate. And as Mrs. Chan pointed out, we are now going into what I think is one of the most nervous times for our seniors and our senior parents. I don't envy them at all, because we all seem to be in a state where things are in flux and everything is considered uncertain, with not understanding not only what the objective requirements may be, but what the subjective requirements may be to enter into specific colleges. But at the end of the day, having two children going through, and it is not in any way helpful, but just to let you know that regardless of what happens, they will land where they need to be. And if not, as I've always said this, you can transfer. So I do really want to bring up the fact that it is a time of nervousness and stress for them and for the parents. So I hope that we are all more patient and more kind to one another. Anyway, so that is my statement for the day. Communications from the student board member.
So last Thursday, we had our club recruitment, which is basically where every club on campus advertises like their events, their purpose, activities, and just tries to get all the students to join their club. And then the following day, we had our club rush, which was their chance to fundraise for themselves. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say the exact amount, but they raised thousands of dollars from the students alone at our SMHS campus. So that's the best our club rush has ever done. And
Thank you.
I'm proud of our clubs for raising so much. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Delatorre, communications from superintendent.
Thank you, President Jack. I had the distinct pleasure, along with Dr. Richter, to attend the Club Rush at the high school, which was amazing. And we walked around and talked to the students and went to each and every table, and just the plethora of food that they had available was amazing. Dr. Richter and I had Chick-fil-A sandwiches, which were very good. And so we were particularly pleased to participate in that exciting day. They had music playing and everyone just seemed so happy. One of the students asked Dr. Richter and I if he could tell us a joke. And his joke, which I will repeat for everyone, was, what do you call a gentleman with no nose? And I said, I have no idea. What? And he said, nobody knows. And I just was so impressed with that. I just thought, how cute is that? So we had a great day up there. We spent the day at San Marino High School working in the principal's office, getting things done, gave us an opportunity to really connect with the kids and see what goes on at the high school. And so that was exciting. I had the pleasure of attending all 4 parent parties this year, and they were all 4 so unique. But I was just impressed with all the work that was done to pull that off and the money that was raised on behalf of the schools. And we just are so blessed with the best PTAs that any school district could ask for. All members of the PTA work so hard to benefit all of our students. And it's just incredible the work that they do here and just the untold hours that are spent on volunteerism in this district. Also, I did speak at the City Club on Tuesday, and it was a great opportunity to talk with the City Club about the history of our school district. Our school district is very rich with history. It was a pleasure to see the president of PCC there, along with board member Linda Waugh. We also had the headmaster of Southwestern Schools was there, Charlie Plowman from the San Marino Tribune. We had Dr. Marlowe there from the city and Susan Jakubowski. And so it was a good group of people. And then of course, Jane attended along with Joseph and Shelley, and Lisa Link called me afterwards. So she watched it remotely and was just, happy to listen to the history. So that was a great opportunity to connect with people. I too want to just say thank you to the Chinese Club. They presented the school's foundation with a check for $20,000, as Mr. Chang mentioned earlier today. And we took a picture out on the lawn with them. And they're just a great group of people who do so much to support our schools. And we're so fortunate to have them as an educational partner. So thank you to the Chinese Club and of course, as an extension, the Chinese school that serves our community. I also wanted to mention that, we do regret as a school district that Assembly Bill 438 has passed, which means that now school districts in California are required to align their classified reduction in force process with that of the certificated reduction in force process. And what that means in layman's terms is that now school districts can only notice classified employees once a year on or before March 15th. It used to be every 60 days you could provide notice to classified employees throughout the year. So this requires districts to plan very far in advance without knowing always what the needs are going to be for the upcoming year. So we're required to make decisions for next school year based on the information that we have in front of us now. So based on that information, we had to reduce 6 aide positions. And positions aren't the same as full-time equivalents, but we did need to do that based on the information in front of us today, which indicates that we are overstaffed for next year by about 6 positions. And so we don't know whether or not new children will come to the district with IEPs next year. That's a possibility. And if they do, then we will hire aides back in the order of seniority. But for now, we have lots of students who are matriculating out of special education and or our school district. We have kiddos at the high school that are going to be leaving next year and will no longer need their aides. We have kids that are coming to the high school from the middle school who will not be needing aides at the high school. And so based on, again, the information that we have in front of us today, we did at our last meeting lay off 6 individuals. So again, we hope that we can bring them back based on their seniority in reverse order. We're going to do everything that we need to do, but we can't hold on to positions that our records indicate that we will not need next year. So that's how the system works. It's something that the district doesn't have control over. We have to follow the laws of the state. So with that, let's see what else. I just wanted to say that we do have the Honorary Service Awards coming up. Super excited about that. That is Wednesday, March 23rd. And we have two of our esteemed board members who will be honored, very well deserved. C. Joseph Chang and Nam Jack. So I'm super excited to be there to honor both of you. Starry night. And so we're really excited to be a part of that wonderful event. The executive team, Dr. Choi, Dr. Richter, and I attended Music Man. You've heard the board talk about that. And it was so great. It really was to see those kids post-pandemic get up there and just shine on stage. It was very impressive. And as Mrs. Ryan mentioned, the lead really has a beautiful voice, and she just took my breath away with her talent. And it was just great to see people out and about and really enjoying students, and the students having a great time as well. So lots of fun, and that is all.
All right, thank you. I think we can all agree, right? Knowing the Bernsteins, that her talent came from her mother and not Andy. Anyway, sorry, Andy.
Andy, yeah.
Number 10, communications from the audience regarding matters on the information agenda are to be made at this time.
Okay, thank you. President Jack, we're pausing for 1 minute to take requests to speak regarding matters and the information items on the agenda. If you'd like to make a request to speak, please press the raise hand icon, dial *9, or submit a public comment card. We have 30 seconds remaining. If you'd like to make a request to speak, please press the raise hand icon, dial *9, or submit a public comment card. Okay, President Jack, we have one request from Diana Klogasi. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Your line is now open. Please go ahead. Diana, I see that you are now unmuted. Please go ahead.
Oh, okay. Hi, can you hear me? I'm not quite sure. I wanted to speak upon the issue about the inclusion aides that were just recently laid off. I am one of them, and I just feel like it's been really unfortunate as an inclusion aide being dedicated to the school district that we got this notification just recently. I just want to speak upon how I don't think we are considered as important as teachers or faculty, because we the ones that got laid off are, most of us are one-on-one aides, and we are dedicated to our students. And I don't think nobody knows the in and outs of how we are with our students, taking them to classes, helping them emotionally, taking them to the restroom, or trying to like just get them through the day, and then to be felt like we are just like the last of the bottom to be just let go. I'm just upset that parents and the board don't know what the aides do beyond the teachers that are there that dedicate themselves there. I've been with this school district for 7 years now. I've had 2 of my kids graduate from the high school, and being part of this inclusion aid and working with some of these amazing aides that are they're dedicating themselves 150%, and to be felt like we've been treated to be just like, okay, that they're just going to let us go, when sometimes we're with the students more than the teachers are. And I wanted to voice this out to say, I just feel like it's so unfair that nobody really knows what the inclusion aides go through, dedicating their time and effort to these students. We're there 150%. And I feel like just, we raised all this money last year in this community to raise up the teachers. I think we need to raise up the inclusion aides as well. And I don't feel like nobody is voicing their opinions about it or helping us to do this. The students need us as much as they need the teachers. And so I just wanted to let you guys all know that, you guys need to reconsider how much the inclusion aides do, and how much they dedicate themselves every moment and time to these students. Even more so during breaks and lunchtime and bathroom breaks, and helping them with their homework or their work. These SIA teachers are very busy and important, trying to just get them all situated, but it's the aides that are supporting the teachers and supporting the kids. And I think the board and the school district needs to know that we are just as important. So I just wanted to express my opinion on that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
President, as the board clerk, it's my responsibility, during the meeting. So I need to share with the audience what is the rule for this meeting. Yeah. So actually, the 10 communication from the audience regarding matter on the information agenda to meet at this time. So I respect Diane's statement. Yeah, I totally, admire her, but from the 11A to 11D, this nothing to do with the information agenda. So supposed not to grant to speak, but this is a special case. So that's the reason in the beginning I did not, to stop. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chang.
But anyway, I would like all the audience in person or in the room, everyone need to learn how to do the meeting, So there's the agenda, on the agenda or not on the agenda. You need to, before the meeting, you need to look the meeting, so when you can make a comment and when you cannot make a comment. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chang. All right, information item 11A, San Marino High School Dance Company recognition. The board will recognize San Marino High School Dance Company for placing first overall in both dance and jazz divisions of the Sharp International Dance Competition.
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Tracy Shen, and I'm the dance director at San Marino High School. I want to take this moment to thank the board for having us tonight and giving us this opportunity to be recognized and to share our accomplishments. So thank you very, very much. Tonight, I am proud to introduce Dance Company. This is an honors 10-member select group of top dancers and leaders at San Marino High School. I'm going to introduce them, and some of them are going to speak about their experiences. So up first, without further ado, I'm going to introduce Stanley Wong, who is our triple threat and first male dance member in dance company history.
Hi, everyone. So as Ms. Shen already mentioned, my name is Stanley Wong. I am a senior at San Marino High School and a second-year dance company member. And I just wanted to start off with a little personal story and memory that I had as an elementary school student. Being able to come to the high school and really experience the dance shows for myself, seeing the high school dancers on the stage performing really encouraged me to pursue the performing arts at San Marino High School. And I always left the theater in complete awe, and knowing that one day when I grew up and joined the high school, that I would always want to be performing on an air stage. And I think that just kind of shows the kind of impact that dance has had throughout the decades in San Marino, both at the high school level and for the community as a whole. And dance itself has so many benefits. There's of course the multiple health benefits that dance has, encouraging students to stay physical and active throughout the school day and making it fun for students as well. And it can often be a mental relief for students throughout the school day, as many of us can probably agree. And in addition to that, the VAPA programs as a whole has provided us with so many, with probably what we can consider as our second family and our second home. And it teaches us so much about teamwork, collaboration, dedication, as well as community impact. And I think it's a program that is like no other at San Marino High School. And I'll invite the next speaker to speak a little bit more.
Hello, everyone. My name is Cynthia Zhang. I am a third-year DECO member and also a senior this year. I'm also this year's dance company co-captain, along with Caitlin Ng right here. A typical DECO member has many amazing skills and technique, as Stanley Wong and Melody Chen with their amazing jumps, and Xing Xing with her amazing turns, so on and so forth. But not only does dance company have amazing talent, they also have a huge passion for dance. And it really shows with what they do for our dance department. We have worked with beginner, intermediate, and advanced classes, and it's always a joy working with them. Dance company is also a group with amazingly supportive and caring people, and it's amazing to be in a space with talented dancers that I can look up to and also improve among myself as a dancer. Dance company is also so important for the dance department because it showcases a very special group of dancers who are insanely talented. And without dance company, many people may not take the dance department as seriously. Dance company is also something that students look up to and work up to. As for me, I've looked up to dance company ever since I was in 8th grade, and I always wanted to join the department, and also led me to major in dance for the colleges I applied to. And I'm so grateful to have the dance department and to be able to be in dance company. Dance company is also so important for our school because it really helps to unite the school, as Stanley stated earlier. I remember at our first assembly this year that many people were shocked that dance company was still a thing and that they were really entertained with what we had to offer. And with Dance Cetra happening this year, we had many open calls that allowed people who never got a chance to perform on stage to use this opportunity to perform on stage, even though they have no dance experience. And it's just great, mostly to be able to dance with my classmates, which is their last year, and they just get to perform with everyone. And I'm so grateful to be able to dance with them and also get close to them and get to know them. And also just shows them a bigger picture of what we really can do and how much fun dance can really be. And I will be leading on for our next speaker.
Hello, my name is Lauren Lim, and I'm a senior and first-year DECO member. Bringing in a new dance teacher to the San Marino Dance Department at the beginning of virtual schooling made me excited yet nervous of what this opportunity will offer us. This past 2 years have sprung upon us, new teachers, new schedules, new this, new that, new everything, which made it difficult for us to find stability in these unprecedented times. Although dance has always been a safe place where I can be vulnerable and genuinely express my emotions, the environment I was forced into because of online school was constricting. For the first time in my 13 years of dancing, I felt like quitting because I wanted to avoid the pain and sufferings this pandemic has inflicted upon all of us. But I didn't. Now was not the time to retrieve and give up. It was the catalyst to overcome and defeat the struggles within ourselves. Another obstacle we encounter is wearing face masks, which suppresses our ability to use our facial expressions, an essential element to the dancing world. Dance is not just the pretty lines, the cool tricks, it's about the stories, the feelings, the emotions we illustrate in every dance. It's like through movement and through creativity as artists, like nevertheless, this hindrance encouraged us to discover new pathways that allow us to express and expand our artistry. Sorry. As we all know, the current status of our district, the San Marino High School population is shrinking and fast. Though the dance department used to consist of the following levels, beginning, intermediate, advanced, and dance company, condensing these classes recently made has been a detriment to our dance department. Stacking periods may seem like a reasonable solution. The temporary fix affects more damage than what meets the eye. Each and every level allows students to work and improve towards the standards of dance company through classes that fit their caliber. And by depriving these students of the facilities and resources to better themselves as dancers and as proud members of the San Marino community, the integrity of the dance program is collapsing. Thank you. I will bring up our next speaker, Sophia Lee.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sophia Lee, and I am a senior and first-year dance company member. Despite all of the circumstances aforementioned and some that may have not been listed, we have really bounced back this year as a dance department. So I will go over some of the major accomplishments that we have come within the past couple of years. So first, our show Lights Out from last November sold a total of 619 tickets, either purchased or redeemed by patrons, marking it as the most profitable dance show in over 12 years. Major accomplishment. As mentioned earlier, we have been holding several open calls, which dance company leads, teaches, choreographs, stages, and puts on for show or allows other students to come into the department, whether they are returning or just completely new to dance. We can share that love of joy with them. It includes a multitude of genres. I think the most that we have ever done in dance company history, including musical theater, lyrical, contemporary hip hop, and what I am personally in charge of K-pop. It has been such a pleasure to break the taboo of being a K-pop fan, spreading that cultural appreciation, and just embracing who you truly are and fostering that environment for everyone. So that has been a personal, large accomplishment of mine. Furthermore, we started the Dance Advisory Board, which I am also a part of alongside a few of my dance company members, which is in charge of developing the image of the dance department through online promotion, on-campus promotion, and event planning. And I have visibly seen all of the positive impact that small but mighty group has had through the increased social media activity and just the overall enthusiasm within the department itself and its outreach to the rest of the community and people on campus. Dance company also had the honor of visiting New York recently, where we got to take classes, see a Broadway show, and experience the magic of New York City. I know I speak on behalf of the whole entire company when we say that has been one of the most amazing experiences of our life and has strengthened our bond and strengthened us as individuals and dancers. And lastly, the main reason why we're invited here today is that we won first in our regional competition, it marking the first time dance company in its history has ever been to a competition. So we won first place in jazz and dance divisions, a sportsmanship award, as well as Xing Xing Rong earning first in best turns and Melody Chen earning first in best leaps. Have accomplished so much this year, and we're so happy to be able to do that and share that with you all. I will now invite our next speaker up.
Hello, my name is Esther Lian. I'm a junior and a first-year dance company member. It will be easier to consider VAPA programs as mere electives that are not core to the academic offerings of San Marino High School, but the arts provide a much-needed outlet for students in as competitive a school district as ours. We are excited to invite you to come watch our year-end show, Dancetra, next month, where over 200 dancers will be joining us on stage. Apart from our own 40 dancers, Dancetra will include 91 SMHS students from outside of the dance department, 54 junior dancers from HMS, Carver, and Valentine, and 6 members of the SMHS faculty who will be joining dance company members on stage in a competition for audience votes. DECO is working with each and every one of these dancers to ensure that they are show ready. Therefore, the impact of investing in the dance department goes way beyond the numbers that you see on the roster. We invite you to come witness the magic on opening night of Dancetra on the 28th of April, Thursday at 7 p.m. Don't miss it. And on behalf of Dance Company, thank you so much for inviting us to come speak in the board meeting.
Really quickly, just a little introduction to this video. This is actually footage from our competition and one of the pieces that we won first place in dance division. So please enjoy.
Baby, can't you see I'm calling a girl like you? So I run, it's dangerous, I'm falling. There's no escape, I can't wait to meet it. Baby, give me it, it's dangerous, I'm loving it.
I just say one last thing? I want to thank all the parents and everyone that support the dance department that came out tonight. Can we give them a round of applause? Thank you guys so much for coming out.
So impressive. Thank you so much for being here this evening. We'd like to get a photograph and present you with this certificate to the San Marino High School dance team. We are so incredibly proud of each and every one of you. Thank you for being so awesome and representing our school district so beautifully. Here in the front. Okay, so would you like to hold the certificate? Okay, perfect. Okay. You have a reading? Definitely that. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. Congratulations. Thank you. Thanks for coming out, everyone. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. All right, we are now going to item number 11B, preview of School Shine Anthem videos. Dr. Lena Richter will present the board with a preview of the School Shine Anthem videos. Thank you, Dr. Richter.
Thank you, President Jack, members of the board, student board member, Superintendent Dr. Delatorre, and cabinet. I always seem to follow an amazing presentation and celebration, and clear the room. However, I think this item is noteworthy, and I think it is just as exciting because it is highlighting our amazing schools and the amazing programs that we have at our schools. So this evening, I am pleased to provide the board with a preview of our 2 remaining school anthem videos, one for Carver and one for Huntington Middle School. Valentine, and one for Huntington Middle School. The Carver Anthem video and the San Marino High School video was previewed or provided to the board for a preview at our State of the District address on February 2nd. And so we're hoping that these school anthem videos will really provide us yet another effective approach at highlighting our wonderful schools, our wonderful programs, our wonderful staff, our wonderful students, and our wonderful community. And hope that it will attract more wonderful students to our amazing district. So I believe we're going to be starting with Valentine's school anthem video first.
We are 625 budding scholars, athletes, artists, and musicians. Every day at Valentine is one of creativity, critical thinking, communication, and collaboration.
Here at Valentine Elementary, we work hard to provide a positive and caring learning environment for everyone in our community.
We empower our students for future success by promoting self-worth, social responsibility, and respect for individual differences.
Valentine Elementary School has HEART, which stands for helpful, empathetic, accepting, respectful, trustworthy.
Instruction is grounded in rigorous content and performance standards and curriculum that go far beyond the basics. Students become competent in using the tools of critical thinking and communication as they learn to become literate seekers of knowledge, effective users of ideas, information, communication, and problem solving.
Our dedicated teachers are highly qualified. Teacher collaboration is the heart of continuous school improvement at Valentine.
I love going to school at Valentine because the teachers are really dedicated and care about me.
I get to learn something new every time that I come here. My favorite part about going to school is seeing my friends.
I
I love my friends at school. I like art. Right? That's my favorite subject. We just write Christmas letters to Santa.
Parents give generously of their time and resources because they know it translates to the best possible education for their children. We have a PTA that is unparalleled. They support financially and through thousands of volunteer hours our art, music, and library programs.
My first favorite subject is math because I like solving problems in math and working with numbers. And my second favorite subject is social studies. We're drawing a picture of a diseño and writing a letter to the Mexican governor.
My favorite subject is English language arts, where we get to write and learn about all the different things of how to look into literature. I like doing science experiments. I love reading books in the library.
Prospective parents often ask about the secret to our long-standing tradition of academic excellence. The truth is, Valentine is part of a community that values education.
Here at Valentine, I can be a learner.
I can be independent and helpful.
Here at Valentine Elementary, I can be creative.
Here at Valentine Elementary, I can be myself.
I love Valentine. I love Valentine Elementary School.
Thank you, Dr. Choi. And the next one we will be previewing will be for Huntington Middle School. Are we able to align the?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to not optimize it for a video clip and see how that goes. Hopefully that will.
We just don't want that to be.
Fabric of Huntington Middle School is so different from other middle schools, from the teaching strategies that the teachers have looking at how a student is learning, but also to see everything that we offer students beyond the classroom. And I really feel like that makes us unique because the things that we do outside of the classroom really allows for the students to apply what they're learning in the classroom, which then the students become better learners.
I think it's a really good environment to be in. Everyone's really nice, and I think the classes are super fun, and same with the activities.
My favorite part is that the teachers, they really care and they want you to learn a lot.
The teachers are really supportive of their students, and they encourage their students to ask questions if they're unsure about something.
We have a vast array of opportunities from how we excel within our math, as well as in our sciences or our English department, to our social studies department, as well as the activities that happens outside the classroom, science Olympiad, math team. Those are the things that make us special in different ways, as well as 2/3 of our school are involved in VAPA, the visual performing arts, from band to orchestra to choir.
Huntington Middle School has so much of a variety of people and clubs that they'll definitely find somewhere they can belong to. We started a bunch of new clubs during lunch that anyone can join no matter what they want to do. And I think it's really good for the students and the experience at HMS.
You can meet many new friends, and I met a lot of high school helpers who really helped me.
There are many different peoples with a lot of different talents, so you'll always find a place to fit in.
These different activities are great to try out so you can find something new to further develop in high school or even college.
I also feel like there are a lot of activities, especially those that are planned by ASB, and I feel like they bring all the students together. There's something for everybody here.
My hope and future for Huntington Middle School is that we keep thriving. It's just challenging enough to be a middle school student and to be a middle school family. But now to be part of Huntington and all that we offer that allows students to grow and to blossom and to bloom and to really thrive, for students to see the growth that they have and expand further than they have been before.
We are extremely pleased with the way these videos have turned out and how they showcase our schools, our programs, our school's mission, our school's vision for what they want to produce as far as student outcomes. And we're looking forward to our principals adding them to their school websites this week. So current parents, prospective parents can log onto the website and get a preview of what's happening at each of our schools and all of the programs that we offer.
And the audio will sync up with the
Yes.
video when it is uploaded to the school's websites.
Yes. All right. So when do we expect it to be uploaded to all of the school websites?
Hopefully by the end of this week.
Okay. And will it also be on our district website?
Our district website will also have it in addition to our district video, which was previewed at City Talk or City Club.
All right. Okay, thank you. All right, now we go to item 11C, survey results for CTE and dual immersion. Dr. Richter.
Thank you, President Jack. Tonight, I'm also pleased to share with the board the Career and Technical Pathways and Dual Immersion Program Interest Survey results. Do you want me to do the clicker? Thank you. Or you can do it if you want. That's fine. Thank you. So the purpose, we'll go to the next slide, please. The purpose of this presentation is to share results from the 2 surveys that were sent out last month to our San Marino Unified community. The CTE Pathway Survey, the CTE Pathway Interest Survey, and the Dual Immersion Spanish Kindergarten Interest Survey. And then lastly, share next steps. Next slide, please. Thank you. In February, a survey was sent out to seek input and feedback from parents, guardians, and students to help identify preferred CTE industry sectors in the district's planning process to potentially expand meaningful opportunities to meet student interests. Included in the survey was a 1-page graphic that illustrated the 15 industry sectors for career and technical education. And Dr. Choi, if we could click on that link, 15 industry sectors, we can show that real quick. Perfect. And so if you click on the link, you're able to see all 15 industry sectors for career and technical educational pathways. The survey in total rendered approximately 268 responses from all 4 schools, with the majority of respondents coming from parents from Huntington Middle School and San Marino High School. We can go back. Yeah, thank you. The survey invited respondents to indicate their preferred industry sector using a 15-point Likert scale, with 1 indicating most interested and 15 indicating least interested. The survey results are illustrated here on this chart to the right. The 15 industry sectors are listed on the horizontal axis at the bottom, with the total number of preferred responses directly above each of the sectors. Now, as you can see, there are 2 bars on that graph. One is light blue and one is dark blue. The light blue bar indicates respondents' first choice or first preference. The dark blue indicates respondents' top 3 out of the 15. In other words, the respondents would have rated each sector as their first, second, or third choice. So again, indicating a strong preference. Since there were 15, I divided it by 5 and took the top 3, which would again indicate a strong interest or preference for that industry sector. So as we can see from the survey results, business and finance, and arts, media, and entertainment were most preferred, with both showing 79 respondents indicating these sectors as their first choice. Health and science also indicated significant interest, with 78 respondents selecting this sector as their first choice. So 1 less than business and finance and arts and media entertainment. When we look at the dark blue bar for these top 3 preferred sectors, again, the first, second, and third choice, we see similar interest results. So we see that our top 3 are business and finance, arts and media, and health and science. When reviewing these results, we are pleased to see that San Marino Unified has effectively aligned its current pathways to parent, guardian, and student interest at the high school, because we currently offer 3 CTE pathways: media arts, graphic design, and business. So our current programs align to the interests of our community, our parents, and our students. These represent the top 2 preferred industry sectors, as demonstrated by the survey results. Survey results also show that the health and sciences industry sector would be an area to consider when exploring potential expansion of CTE pathways. Thank you. We'll go to the next slide. A dual immersion interest survey was also sent out last month to all San Marino Unified parents and guardians in grades TK through 12 to determine interest in a possible dual immersion program for incoming kindergarten students for the upcoming school year. This survey rendered a total of 281 responses from all 4 schools, with the majority of responses coming from Carver and Valentine. Obviously, because it's an elementary kindergarten program that we're looking at. Survey data was tabulated to show the total number of incoming kindergarten students interested in a Spanish dual immersion program. So the results of this survey showed that 85% of the 86 incoming or eligible kindergarten students indicated an interest in enrolling in a Spanish dual immersion kindergarten program. The survey also invited parents to indicate the desirable skills or preference or reason for enrolling their child in a dual immersion program. Multilingual competency was shown to be the most desirable skill, as we will see on the next slide. So here's a picture of the graph that I lifted from the survey itself. As I just mentioned, parents and guardians were invited to rate interest in desirable skills developed through participation of a dual immersion program, each in the order of importance on a scale from 1 to 5, 1 being the most interested, 5 being the least interested. And as we can see from this chart, the respondents indicated significant interest in all skill areas listed. Multilingual competency demonstrated to be the most desirable skill, followed by enhanced communication and increased cognitive dexterity. Although there are many benefits to a dual immersion program, there are 3 main goals that are considered to be key in such a program. Based on these survey results, these 3 goals are consistent with the 3 skill interest areas that parents and guardians indicated on the survey. They are to develop multilingualism and biliteracy in English and a second language, achieve high academic achievement, and lastly, first and second language competency and cross-cultural understanding. Next slide, please. So with regards to next steps for career technical education and dual immersion, we are going to continue discussions with our secondary administrators and counselors and continue to monitor and evaluate our existing CTE pathways. We're going to explore possible ways in which to expand opportunities that tap into our students' interests. We're going to explore health sciences and medical tech or medical arts pathway because that was seen to be a significant interest on the survey. And that's why we're bringing it to the board. We are going to seek board input for program implementation for CTE pathways and for dual immersion programs. And then lastly, continue program research so that we can learn as much as we can about both the expanding CTE pathways and dual immersion programs so that we can at one point down the line in the future, whenever that may be, implement a comprehensive, effective program.
All right, thank you so much. Do we have any questions for Dr.
Yes.
Mr. Chang?
Can you go back to this page? I don't know when you design the questionnaire, do you include in the just check the student ethnic background?
We did not.
Oh, you didn't?
We did not.
Okay, and then the second question, because for this survey topic, we only indicate Spanish only. I don't know if that there's a parent, they put other language or not, prefer or not.
There was not a question to ask parents or guardians for another language. We did receive significant interest in a Spanish dual immersion program. Once the survey went out and the survey closed, I did receive multiple calls regarding interest in the Spanish dual immersion program for kindergarten.
The reason I mentioned, originally, we come out this survey on the Spanish only. We just want carefully utilize the community resource we have. Yeah, but I also heard some they prefer for the Chinese. So I actually, okay, For example, for my family, I feel the Spanish must useful because you know my son in the county hospital actually you don't know the Spanish. I don't know what is the next to diagnose the patient. So in the Southern California, I think there's the big need. But I also I think this is a great survey. But I also want to make sure we also have got a voice from everywhere. Yeah.
So, Mr. Chang, one of the reasons why we did not choose Chinese is because we didn't want to put the district in a position where it was competing with our Chinese school.
Yeah.
And now their language program is WASC accredited.
Yeah.
And so, I'm sorry?
Almost.
It's getting there.
I'm sorry, the Chinese school, yes.
Chinese school, yes,
Yes.
right? Yeah, okay. So we just didn't want to compete with the language program that they're already providing. And we do have a significant number of students who are currently speaking both English and Chinese in the home. And so we felt that by providing a third language, our students would have an opportunity, if this program was successful, to graduate from San Marino High School being trilingual and having 3 world languages on their college application. So we felt that that was a solid, rationale for going with that language.
Yeah, I totally understand. I'm happy, we are recording this, because personally I think this have a more need, but I also encounter some Chinese parents, not too many, only 1 or 2 pressure me. So I want to speak out, so because we are not finalized, so make sure all the voice, if they try to talk to me, so I will make sure through my ear, and then I will come out from my mouth. Serve for the school board member, actually is a very you know what I mean, because of this the public school, so take care for all the students.
And Dr. De La Torre will confirm, in doing my research, I know that Spanish, the request for Spanish dual immersion
So that's the
program.
reason, right now, go back to the point, if I have the ethnic background, then it's easily to say this is the one.
And the program is open to all students from all ethnic backgrounds and from all learning and proficiency levels. And I was just going to say that I know that in doing my research and looking at the AAC minutes and notes, that there has been a request over the past few years for a Spanish dual immersion program.
Are there any other questions? Mrs. Chun?
I had one related to CT and one related to dual immersion. So I'll stay on the dual immersion topic. So when we talk about dual immersion, just so I know what we're talking about here, we start with kindergarten, and then we're adding a grade on each one while still retaining the kindergarten.
Correct.
Right. So then it's a building program.
Correct.
So when we're looking at whether or not to implement this and how to implement it, it essentially becomes an ongoing building cost each year and commitment to each grade level as we move up. And so I guess I would just want to know more about the impact on staffing and the budget over multi-years, as well as ensuring that the parents themselves are interested, because I think most dual immersion programs go through 8th grade, correct?
They can go all the way through 12th grade.
Oh, they go through 12th now. Okay. So I guess it can go all the way through 12th grade. So I want to make sure that we're continuing to gauge appropriate interest and programming. And then I am a little bit concerned about the staffing needs in California, because this would, I assume, require a very proficient bilingual teacher.
Correct.
And given the circumstances that we're in California with our staffing, especially in the bilingual areas. I think I would just want more information on that.
Absolutely. And that is something that we will bring back to the board on a regular basis throughout the planning process. Absolutely.
But to go back to what you initially said about the addition of a different grade level each year, and that being a cost, what we're hoping to be able to do is initially, we're going to pilot this program, and we would have a cohort of students in a kindergarten class at one of the two schools. And then the following year, it would go up to first grade. But initially, this is not going to be a cost to the district because we're going to do it through attrition. So we know we have a vacancy at the elementary next year. And so we may have to have a teacher that normally teaches another primary grade move into another grade level, depending on how much enrollment we have in each of the grade levels, if that makes sense. So we're going to move people around a little bit, but it's not going to be a cost to the district this first year. Next year, if we have attrition, we might be able to replace one of the first grade teachers with a bilingual teacher, in which case it's really not a cost. We're just bringing in the dual immersion program through attrition. But if there isn't any turnover at the elementary, then it could be a cost, at which point I think that would be a conversation potentially with the schools foundation. And we have in the past talked about programs that they could support. And I'm not suggesting that the board would ask them to do that. But there is an opportunity, I think, to explore that as a possibility, because we're not trying to cost the district money. I think what we're doing is looking for programs that are going to attract families to San Marino, are going to keep our families who currently live in San Marino in the public school system instead of going to private schools. We're just trying to be as competitive as we can possibly be with other educational opportunities. And that's the other reason that we're looking at adding a health science CTE pathway to the high school. We believe that that will help attract families to San Marino who have an interest in having their children exposed to the health sciences in high school. The program that Dr. Richter and I looked at Crescenta Valley led to an internship. And these programs can be highly successful for students who are pursuing a career in the health sciences. We know that we have a potential connection to USC Keck that might be interested in having a conversation with the district about building a pathway into a USC program. So there's just a wealth of information that we're looking at and lots of opportunities to be explored. But one of the things that we know is that we have to look at doing something that's going to attract families to San Marino. We need to stabilize and grow our enrollment.
And I'm excited about the prospect. I think it's exciting that we're at this point now where we can really look at new programs to bring in. I just want us to be really thoughtful about how we're implementing
right?
that.
And yes,
Not just for the first
And the
year, but
extension.
for
Right.
ongoing
Yes.
years. And at the same time, protecting the resources we have. So that
Absolutely.
we're not cannibalizing anything like Chinese Club or any of our
Yes.
existing staff.
Mhm.
So my second question is a similar one. So remind me, this is more of a Dr. Richter question. Remind me in terms of the state budget, is there any capacity or availability of funding for CTE program?
There are a number of grants that are available, and the one that I'm looking at opens in August, actually. It's the Strong Workforce Grant. And I believe that was put forth in 2018-19, and they allocated approximately 150 million for school districts to expand and grow their CTE programs. So that definitely is one that we'll be looking at and hopefully applying for.
And also Dr. Richter is going to be applying for a dual immersion grant.
Yes, I submitted it on.
It's done.
I submitted it on the 18th, on Friday.
Oh, you already did?
I already
That's
did.
good, yeah.
They're allocating approximately up to 350,000 per school district, but I was informed that it's a highly competitive grant. So we don't know the outcome. We're expected to hear about that in May 6th, I think.
Welcome. Mrs. Ryan?
No, I'm going to pass it.
All right, Mr. Kalaki?
I don't have anything.
All right,
Okay.
thank you.
Can I?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, Mr. Chen.
Okay, go back to the CTE interest survey. So since there's a 3 is the highest wish from the parent. So when you already design for this 3, so when you design the which course they will take, is that where each one is that where include through the sum of AP class or not?
Well, right now we do have we have the 3 CTE pathways at the high school. So we have business, we have arts, and we have media arts.
So mean that each pathway can have a regular class.
Absolutely.
And then eventually one
Yes.
AP, right?
There's an introductory class,
Yeah.
there's an intermediate class, and then there's the advanced class, which could possibly be an AP class depending on how it's built. But one of our goals really is looking, as we look to expand and possibly expand current CTE courses, is having that vertical pathway so that kids are starting this pathway in middle school, because there are courses in each of these sectors that can definitely be implemented at the middle school. So that would really ignite the passion and the excitement for, entering into that pathway, so students can continue to learn in that kind of branch that they want to look into for their careers. And it would just be extended from the middle school through the high school, and then hopefully lead into an internship. I think that's going to be key for our students.
So for example, if we go with PCC, so also possible that can be the AP class, right? Or not necessarily.
We haven't done that research yet. That is
But
something
for
that
the
we're going to.
university, that can be the AP.
We could possibly look into that, because we are contracting or partnering.
Like for example, you take us to see the anatomy, right? So you think that is a regular class or the AP class?
Well, one was a beginner's anatomy. It was sports medicine.
Yeah.
One was beginners and one was advanced. It was not an AP class.
Okay, so mean if we contact the USC Care Medicine, so then that may be the.
Absolutely,
right?
yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Mr. Chen?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So we look forward to the next report, Dr. Richter. Thank you so much. Now we'll go to item 11D, agreement by and between the district and the city for professional library services. Ms. Judy Carenti.
Hi, good evening, President Jack, members of the board, student board member, Superintendent De La Torre, and executive team. We have entered into an agreement with the city of San Marino. Like many other surrounding districts, this agreement will allow San Marino Unified School District students to utilize the library services at their Crowell Library across the street. This satisfies the district's education code 18100 requirement, and it also fosters a positive relationship and partnership between the district and the city. This partnership will benefit our students, and they will be able to use the library as they currently do, but this does formalize the agreement. Kathy Johnson, she's the new city's community services director, and she was instrumental in assisting the district with our request for this partnership. So I wanted to thank her for that. And this is the agreement that we entered into. There is no cost to the district, and our students will be able to use these services as needed.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
So this is a program where we would have city employees at Crowell Library, and students would be going to that library, or would we have city employees at our campus libraries?
The students would just be using the services at the library. They would not be coming to our campuses to provide services.
Okay, so this is not resulting in any either infringement or imposition on any current librarians or employees of the district?
No. It just satisfies our requirement that we provide library services to our students. And this is one of the methods that we're able to do that.
We do not employ certificated librarians. And so in lieu of the school district providing a certificated librarian, we have to provide access to the city library services. And so that's all it is. It doesn't result in us reducing any of our classified library support staff.
When was the last time that we had library?
Oh gosh, it was long.
Before my
ago.
time.
Maybe 20 years ago.
And with regard, I had saw somewhere in the contract, and I would have to look to find it, that it said that the city employees will advise the district on the selection and ordering of library books.
I don't believe there's any, they can, if they want to collaborate and meet and talk about things, they can, but there's no requirement that they do that.
Many other of our neighboring school districts have a similar agreement.
The city modeled this after some other agreements that we sent them, so.
So city employees would not be advising the district on the selection of library books?
No.
I think he's referring to scope of services, section 3.
Yeah.
However, the second sentence states the city assigned personnel shall have no direct or indirect supervisory authority or responsibility relating to district employees. So I guess the advise.
If they want to consult and our employees want to consult with them, they can, but there's no requirement.
There's no obligation on our part to accept any advice or
That's correct.
recommendations, but more availability of services.
Correct.
And so they would be advising on the selection of library books in our campus libraries, correct?
No, they would not.
No.
They would not.
So, okay, I just don't understand why
So they're talking
city,
about their own.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, they will do their own selection at the library, but they will not be selecting books for our students.
No,
If
my-
they,
I think what,
Well, what I'm
Mr.
trying to
Kalak.
say is that the contract says that the city would be strictly advising district administration on the selection and ordering of library books. Whose library books and which libraries?
At the
if I
city
could-
library.
No, but if I could interject, I understand why Mr. Kalaki is saying this, and that way I do think maybe something, the services to be performed by the city involve strictly advising district administration on the selection order of library books, general consulting regarding school library services. So why are they providing us? So you're telling me in terms of library books, we're talking about the city library books,
The city
right?
library
Okay, so
books.
maybe it should say city library books, just so there's no issue. And then it says general consulting regarding school library services. So they will provide us consulting services for our school libraries?
No, not for our school libraries at all.
But it does say school library services.
That's because, well, they mean because we have the agreement with the city to provide library services to our students, but they're not meaning literally our school libraries.
Okay, but the
Well-
only thing it does say regarding school library
I
services.
mean, the language of the
Yeah.
contract is what it is.
I understand, right, the intent, but in terms of the language, what I would recommend would be on the selection of ordering library books for the Kroll Library and general consulting regarding, library services, and take out the word school.
So this has already been approved by the city council and you want us to go back and redo it and have them reapprove it?
I would just say ratify those two amendments. I mean, those two minor revisions.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't
Okay.
They will
seem
look
like
into that.
much of an issue because the contract can be terminated at any time with 30 days notice. And if we had to then terminate it and re-enter it, we could do that. Not that I'm looking to go through all those hoops. But my concern is we essentially have another government entity that is advising us on the selection of our students' library books. And that's what the administration or the school board is supposed to do with regard to education.
Okay.
I think,
I'm-
I'm sorry.
okay,
I
I'm
don't,
sorry.
I don't want to, we don't want to, but, and I understand that's not the intent of the city
not.
or for us, but the way the language is written, it, you know, expressly states otherwise. So we would like to make those requested changes. Now, I say we, I shouldn't say that, because I think we need a roll call vote to see whether or not that should be done. So Mr. Kalaki.
This is an information item though. I don't.
Oh,
It's not
that's
an
right.
action item at
But
all.
we are asking for action to make a change, to make a modification
But
to the
it- yeah,
agreement.
but it's not, we're gonna have to bring it back.
All right, will you bring it
It's not
back then?
agendized.
All right.
We would,
Yeah,
we would
this is
have
not
a
an action
future
item.
action
So
item.
let's
then.
bring it back.
Yeah,
All right.
another meeting.
Yeah, we just wanted to share that we were partnering with the city so that they could provide services to our students, so that we can meet the education code requirements.
Right.
So that was the intent.
That's all.
So perhaps then, rather than the board directing any action, perhaps the board may ask for clarification on the exact nature of their services.
We can get something from council that can, I mean, because this was something that
No.
was.
No.
this has
Never
been-
mind.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is an agreement that has been entered into by not just San Marino schools, but many, many other neighboring, between neighboring school districts and libraries. So this is not something we made up. It's not new. It's something that is in place everywhere else. So.
I understand that, but respectfully, the everybody's doing it argument is not persuasive to me.
Okay, we'll get it done.
The concern is frankly, I don't care what other districts do. I'm not on their boards. I'm on the San Marino Unified School District Board. And we've got some concerns. So I think what we would like to do is have it come back for an action item and we can discuss what type of agreement we feel comfortable with our library services for our students in our district.
So based on that, I would recommend, right, that you go back and see if we can modify the language and bring it back.
Okay, I'll talk to them about that.
All right, there's only two changes. It would be, you know, including the word, you know, for, you know, the city library and then the deletion of the word school.
Got it. Okay.
And
Oh, not yet. By the way, I have one more question. So we finalize this agreement both party. So what is the special privilege we have? Is that we can send our staff to learn, or we can also send the student to learn?
It's for the students so that
Oh,
they
just
have
student.
library services available to them. Yes.
Student, not send the staff to learn.
No, it's just so the students have library services available to them.
and it's pursuant to an education code, right?
And we've been doing this informally for 20 years. So this is just memorializing what we're already doing.
Yes, so that we have it formalized for our monitoring
All right,
reports.
but you'll come back with it. Thank you very much. All right, now we are going to communications from the audience regarding matters on the action agenda are to be made at this time. Mr. Choi?
Thank you. We're pausing for 1 minute to take requests to speak regarding action items on the agenda. If you'd like to make a request to speak, please press the raise hand icon, dial *9, or submit a public comment card. We have 27 seconds remaining. If you'd like to make a request to speak, please press the raise hand icon, dial *9, or submit a public comment card. Okay, we have no requests on Zoom.
All right, we do have a card, so I would like to invite Marguerite Lindsay, our CSEA president, to come talk to action item number 13. Thank you for coming.
Good evening, President Jack, board members, student board member, Superintendent De La Torre, and cabinet. This evening, I speak to you as CSEA San Marino Association President on agenda item number 13C, Resolution 12. After speaking with Ms. Correnti and Dr. Choi this afternoon, CSEA now has more of an understanding of the need to extend the COVID support staff's employment with LACO monies until the end of the school year. The district is being prudent and being prepared in case of any large surges in COVID cases due to families and staff traveling during the spring break. The fact that cases are once again increasing in other countries throughout the world, and given changing federal testing / funding guidelines for uninsured persons. However, CSEA still takes a stance that short-term, limited, non-classified, contracted out employees should be released when the district has laid off bargaining unit positions. CSEA hopes in the future the district will not transfer work out to short-term employees, especially when there are laid off employees. Also, if the COVID support staff continues to work at our sites, they perform only COVID-related duties and not any other bargaining unit office work. Once again, thank you for your service to our school district.
Thank you. All right. Action item number 13A, A through G completion improvement grant. Dr. Richter.
Thank you, President Jack. This item is being brought back to the board with a recommendation for approval. The A through G completion improvement grant was previously presented to the board as an informational item at the March 8th board meeting. The A through G completion improvement grant provides funds to assist high school students increase A through G completion. Last week, school districts were informed of revisions to the grant fund allocations, and these revisions are reflected on the current plan that you have before you in your packets. SMUSD's revised total allocation is now $112,372. This is a decrease of approximately $82,000 from the initially shared allocation of $194,611. Tonight, as I mentioned, this item is being brought back to the board with a recommendation for approval.
All right, does anyone have any questions?
Oh, yes. For the page 2, the top. So they mention about the, okay, the question is describe the plan and describe the service supplement and not supplement. Those services identified in the school district. You know, the over I cannot do. Okay. Anyway, so the answer they said San Marino High School will provide a summer school remediation in service area that we typically have not been able to offer due to budgetary reason and a low need. Courses are Spanish, Chinese, biology, chemistry, physics, algebra, and geometry. As you know, coincidentally, you know, the last couple of days, so I also heard the several parents, they are asking about why we are not over for the geometry. So maybe you can help to answer.
I would be happy to answer that, Mr. Chang. Yes, geometry is offered. It was offered last year and I believe the year prior during the summer as a remediation course. So for students who are unable to successfully complete that course or pass that course, it is offered in the summer for any student that needs to repeat that course to earn a higher or passing grade. This year, it is also going to be offered as a remediation course for students who may need it to then progress on to or move on to Algebra 2.
So it's not offered to the regular?
Not at this point, not at this point. The high school administration is still consulting with their counselors and with me regarding potential classes that will be offered during summer. But definitely remediation, algebra and geometry will both be offered as a remediation course for the summer.
Okay. Maybe you want to find a. So I know there's the parent relay to concern about this issue. Actually, without you know, I'm knowing our scheduling. I don't want to make a comment. Yeah, but look like they are very, yeah.
So I do know.
And yeah, anxious.
Yes, and I can imagine. I do know that the high school does plan on sending out the invitations for the remediation courses immediately following, as I say, spring break.
The remediation courses, what format will those be taking?
They will be in person on campus. And there may be a couple of Apex courses that the high school is considering to offer.
So I would echo Mr. Chang's concerns about not offering it for students because of the sequence and the way it runs. And because of the way that it was structured in the past, we haven't quite gotten to that point where students who were not allowed to take algebra in 8th grade, if they are not able to take geometry in the summertime, they will not be able to achieve calculus. And when they're looking at certain schools, given the requirements that STEM schools have and other majors, it will be difficult for them to be competitive. And I recognize that students may not have been ready for algebra in 8th grade, and so it was the right choice at that time, but to then not allow them to have an opportunity to advance when they are ready to take it would be, in my opinion only, something of a disservice for our students. So I know those are all considerations being made. So that's just some of the things I've heard over the years and seeing how the math sequence has played out over the years. There's a course correction that needs to be made that we're still in the middle of course correcting.
Okay, and I will take that information back to the high school team and share the concerns and the recommendations. I know that last year we did not offer geometry as an advancement course. And to my understanding, we haven't done that, but I could be mistaken. But I will bring it back to the high school for consideration.
All right.
Can I just ask one quick question on that point? Because I think it is, I think you're bringing up a very important point of students being able to, if they're at a certain level in 8th grade, that might track them all the way through graduation. If it's not a situation, or even if it is a situation where it's offered in summer school, geometry, for example, or algebra, are students also, if they take a class like geometry or algebra to try to move along in that math track, like at PCC, is that a class where, as a concurrent enrollment, or it may help if they were to take that in a summer school? Are they able to do that?
I don't know. I would have to find that out and bring that back to the board. I'm not sure. And I'm not sure if that's been done in the past before.
Right. So I appreciate all of that, and hopefully you will come back with a report, right,
Yes, I
based
will.
on the questions that our
Absolutely.
board has asked. But for right now, we have an action item, which is A through G completion improvement grant. May I have a motion to approve the grant?
So moved.
All right. Mrs. Ryan, second.
Second, yeah.
Mr. Chang, roll call vote. Mr. Kalaki?
Aye.
Mr. Chang?
Aye.
Mrs. Chan?
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan?
Aye.
Nam Jack, aye. Student board member?
Aye.
All right, we're now going to move to 13B, single plan for student achievement, action item, Dr. Richter.
Thank you, President Jack. This is a procedural item that staff is bringing to the board for approval. Per California Ed Code, each school receiving Title I funds must develop a school plan for student achievement. For the 21-22 school year, Huntington Middle School and San Marino High School have received Title I funds, and as a result have developed their school plan in collaboration with their school site councils. Schools that are not in receipt of Title I funds do not need to develop a plan unless directed by the board. Carver and Valentine have not developed a plan as a result, but they continue to work collaboratively with their staff to develop school goals and action plans that meet board priorities as well as LCAP priorities. So tonight we are asking for, recommending approval of Huntington Middle School and San Marino High School school plan for student achievement.
All right, are there any questions for Dr. Richter?
Can you go to the page 11 of the 85? Yeah, page 11.
For Huntington Middle School or high school?
Is yeah, middle school. Yeah.
Middle school, okay.
Page 11. For the first line, the English learner.
Yes.
So 18 to 19 is a 10.3%. So 20 to 21 right now 6.7%. Is that mean that because the new immigrant they don't come and so they drop?
Yes, that we are seeing a decrease in the number of students coming to the United States, to California as a result of that. So our English learner numbers have been decreasing.
And then the line 3, they have a category reclassify fluent English proficient. What to mean the classify?
The reclassification of English learners to fluent English proficient, they have to meet 4 criteria. One is determined by the state, and that is an overall 4 on the LPAC, which is the English Learner Proficiency Test, and then 3 locally determined criterion, which is a mark of B or better on their grades, depending on the grade level. For elementary, the iReady, grade level score on iReady, and then of course, teacher recommendation and parent consultation. So when a student is ready and prepared to transition out of English language development or instruction, they are reclassified if they meet all 4 criteria to English fluent proficient. That means they no longer need instruction in English language development by the ELD standards or English language development standards, and they no longer need to take the LPAC assessment. So we see a big dip from 2019, 2020 to 2021, 22. And the reason for that is because in 2020, the LPAC was not administered due to the pandemic. And there was an opportunity to do a makeup of that LPAC in late fall. So we were able to capture a few students during that time, but we didn't have the scores, which is a state mandate for reclassification in 2020 to be able to reclassify all those students. But we're very excited this year. We did a calculation of how many English learners have reclassified to date, and we have a little bit over 52 English learners who have reclassified. They met all 4 criteria, so we're very excited about that. And that speaks to the quality of the instruction that our teachers are providing and the commitment to studying and making sure that they're passing all of the criteria, both on behalf of the parents and the students.
So how often they can reclassify? Once a year or once?
They can attempt to reclassify anytime. We try to do it annually because that's when we have the LPAC scores. The LPAC is given annually. The window opens February 1st for the English language proficiency assessment, but they can reclassify anytime throughout the year.
Okay.
I think that's great news.
It is great news. We're very excited for our English learners.
Wonderful.
And then the page 58, still Huntington Middle School. So they did not put the dollar sign amount, yeah. So is that they already allocated the money or not? The left side amount, yeah.
Yeah, scroll up. Dr. Choi, if you could scroll up and see what section that is.
Strategy activity 11.
Okay, scroll down just a little.
Page 58, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's.
Yeah, we may be missing the expenditures. I'll follow up with that and see if that was mistakenly omitted.
Those are funding sources.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Chang, she's going to check to see if it was mistakenly omitted.
Yeah.
Because it might need to be there.
It might be there. Yeah.
Okay, and then page 59, still the middle school. The second paragraph, the mention about the use of MFT intern. Is that we only have a MFT intern or we have other psychologists? Or?
We do have psychologist interns, but he may be, Huntington Middle School may be referring just to the MFT interns for this section.
I use the MFT at the middle school?
This is the first year.
Yeah, because they have the wellness center now. So I will follow up and clarify on that definitely with Mr. Topalian.
Okay, and then the page 59, still a middle school.
I should ask Mr. Topalian to stay.
Sorry about
It's okay, no problem. I'm happy to get this information and bring it back to the board.
He
came and he went, I know.
We can, I
No
guarantee we
problem.
can go home 8:30. Okay, so the page 69. So they have a ASB district funding and a donation and then the lottery. So that's called instructional material. So the lottery mean is that we get the money from the state, right? And then we designate just using in the instruction material.
Correct, 18,975.
So mean the lottery is not a general fund. So it will be, this money will be just used in the instructional material.
Yes, I'm going to ask Ms. Izuka to talk about the general fund with the lottery money. I'm sorry, I missed the question.
Okay, there's a
I don't want to
lottery,
misspeak.
right? So they put instructional material.
Okay.
Yeah, is that
Go ahead.
so the lottery fund we got from state is
Yes.
that only, so it's another general fund also we.
Okay, there are two types of lottery. One is for the general fund can be spent in any other way. And there's also another pot of lottery funds that are just designated specifically for instructional materials.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's two pots of money.
So which one is a bigger?
The bigger one for the general fund.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, that's it. No more.
All right, does anyone have any other questions, Mrs. Chan?
Well, I just wanted to note something I was sort of excited about on this high school one was the high school report spoke about the need to have updated evidence-based best practices to support student-centered learning, updated assessment practices, and updated grading practices. And then also the lack of adequate substitutes that sort of contribute to that. So I was really excited to see that built into the budget to really be able to address that, because I think that's just been an area that we've been a little bit lacking in because of resources, and yet it was one of our goals. So I'm glad to see those things being put into all of the parts and pieces. So I love how all of our reports are very nicely aligned, Dr.
Yes,
Victor.
that is the goal.
And so I appreciate that, because I know that that's a lot of the work that you're putting into ensuring that we're really allocating all the resources in the right places to meet the same goals. So thank you for that. That's it.
All right, Mr. Clackey, do you have any questions?
I just wanted to thank you very much, because it clearly, there's a lot of work, a lot of information, and making sure that it's all clear.
It is, and I will say you're welcome, but I deserve none of that credit. That is completely developed with the school site councils at the school sites and the administration.
Well, then definitely thank you to all of them.
Absolutely.
Please let them know that.
I will. Thank you.
Mrs. Ryan?
I'm okay.
All right. So now this is an action item. So someone could make a motion to approve the single plan for student achievement.
I make a motion to approve.
Mr. Chang, second?
Second.
Ms. Chan, roll call vote. Mrs. Ryan?
Aye.
Mr. Kalaki?
Aye.
Mr. Chang?
Aye.
Mrs. Chan? Nam Jack, I, student board member?
Aye.
All right, now we come to item number 13C, approval of resolution number 12 to establish short-term employment pursuant to Ed Code Section 45103.
Hi there, I'm back.
Hi, thank you.
President Jack, members of the board, student board member, and members of the executive team. On August 24th, 2021, the governing board approved resolution number 4, which authorized the district to hire short-term employees under Ed Code 45103 through April 1st, 2022. These employees were hired as COVID support staff and were instrumental in supporting students and staff with COVID testing and contact tracing this school year. The positions were funded by a COVID grant through LACO, and Dr. Choi, our COVID compliance officer, has determined that there is a need to keep these short-term employees through the end of the school year due to the changing mandates by the state and county departments of health, potential surges, and who knows what else may happen in the next few weeks. We are requesting to extend the ending date of employment of the short-term employees to May 26, 2022, the end of this school year. It has been confirmed that there is sufficient funding through LACO grant to fund these positions for the remainder of the school year.
Okay, so I have a number of questions. So why was the contract only to April?
We thought that we didn't know the funding at that time, and we thought we would need these employees to get us through probably the winter break, and we did not anticipate we would need them for the remainder of the school year, but things happened this year that we did not anticipate.
All right, and so none of the funding is coming from the district, is that correct?
That's correct.
Right, so all that is through a COVID grant through LACO. Correct. And then it's also my understanding that part of this is not only our independent, for example, Dr. Choi, right? You believe that we need to keep these employees because of the requirements, right? The legal requirements that must be met, but it's also my understanding that there's an OSHA requirement, is that correct?
The testing of the unvaccinated employees is an OSHA requirement. Yes, that's correct.
All right, so this is in order to comply with the law, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Also, I want to make sure that we are not in any way right through this short-term program affecting any of our other bargaining unit employees. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. Okay. All right. Those are my questions. Does anyone have any other questions?
How long does the funding for the LACO grant go?
The grant funds staffing through June 30th of 2022. There is potentially a what they call a closeout, where it may extend some funding to close out the program through the end of July. However, that would not apply for COVID support staff.
All right. Would someone like to make a motion then to approve resolution number 12?
I move to approve resolution 12.
Mrs. Chan, a second?
Second.
Mrs. Ryan, roll call vote. Mrs. Ryan?
Aye.
Mr. Kalaki?
Aye.
Mr. Chang?
Aye.
Mrs. Chan?
Aye.
Namjack, aye. Student board member?
Aye.
All right. With that, we have now come to adjourning the meeting. Thank you so much, Ms. Carenti. All right. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.